Happy New Year, stamping friends, and welcome to Lisa's party. The first one out of the gate was celebration. I'm going to try something different this time. Instead of having 3 different videos, I'm going to try to shoot all this in one video and hopefully keep it under like 25 minutes. So I'll try to keep the chit chat to a limit, but you know, that's hard for me because I get distracted very easily. Anyway, this is Lisa's party. And if I had these letters for Scrabble, it'd be a lot of points, but I don't think I could make any words out of it. So it's XWVMJAKJ. I like it how I start out really big and then my letters start getting small, even with the boxes on here to go by. Anyway, see, I'm already chattering. There I go. I've lost it already. Okay, so as you know, it's celebration time, and we have a mini catalog that goes January through June. And we have SaleAbration, of course. I'm going to leave this page open. And we have SaleAbration that goes January 5th through February 28th of 2021. That feels good to say. And then they'll be doing another one in, I think I said July, August. So I like it that they're breaking it up because I've already got everything I want out of here. I'm done. Anyway, we'll talk about that a little later. So the first card we're going to do is going to be from page 25. And there's a combination kind of thing. You can do the whole suite, or you can do the Garden Wishes bundle for $51.25, and then there's the Dragonfly Garden bundle, which is this one right here, where you get this stamp set and a punch. And this, I've got them both, but this is the one we're going to be focusing on, the Dragonfly Garden bundle. And we'll be using this 6x6 Dandy Garden paper for the dragonflies only. So I'm going to jump right into it and show you this technique card that I threw in today. And I have it right off to the side here. I did 2 different variations of this card, and hopefully you're not getting too much glare from the window sheet. Case these off of Pinterest, of course. My favorite place to go for ideas, and there's nothing wrong with that. And then we can tweak it any way we want. Anyway, there's 2 different versions. We're going to do this one where we're going to stamp the dragonfly right onto the acetate or window sheet, sorry. And it looks like it's kind of floating there, and I just think that one's really pretty. I love them both, but I liked this a bit more. And plus it teaches you a technique of coloring on the window sheet. So I'm just going to talk about this one just for a minute. So when we make the card, you'll see how we stamp the flowers and all this. But the difference between these two, if you'll look, this one I stamped with our Memento ink and black, and then I colored directly onto this. Sorry. Gosh, I'm already goofing up. Okay, so this one I stamped directly on, and then I colored it with our Stampin' Blends. Okay, I stamped onto the paper with our Memento black ink. And again, I'll show you that. This one, you see the colors, it's not all colored in, and I stamped, I colored directly onto the stamp with our Stampin' Right markers. You don't stamp on the stamps with the blends. Do not do that. You'll ruin them. So I've been told. I'm not going to experiment with it and find out. But anyway, so using our Stampin' Right markers, all I did was use Blackberry Bliss ink. I just colored the flower petals, and then yeah, it took a little bit of time to color the leaves and stuff in Old Olive, but as you can see, it all worked out just fine, and it turned out beautifully. Then for the dragonfly, what I did was the 6x6 paper that we were talking about. It's all right here. And as you see, it comes with dragonflies and all kinds of flowers. I don't know how well you can see this, but anyway, it's really cool. 6x6 paper, very versatile, goes great with that whole suite. But I used the punch that I think I put away. Yeah, here I had it all out. We had Asher over the weekend, and he and I were playing with punches. Here we go. Here's the punch, and you'll probably get a little bit of a glare there. But anyway, it punches out these dragonflies perfectly. It does the little guys too. Here's one of the little guys. But it's got a little bit of a white border, so I thought, well, I punched some of those out, and I would probably glue them to the inside of the card, maybe. But anyway, as you can see out of that paper, I punched out all different kinds of dragonflies because I just didn't know what color I wanted to use. And you know that on the back, if you don't know what colors goes with what, let's get that out of there. It tells you on the back all the colors. So Basic Black, Blackberry Bliss, Bumblebee, Calypso Coral, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, and Whisper White. But I used Old Olive because it's one of my favorites. But anyway, that's the 6x6 paper. For this one, you just punch out a dragonfly. And then I used a little bit of our all-purpose glue on the center. And then I stuck it to, hang on, let me get the window sheet here. So you put a little bit of glue. Once you line this up and you kind of figure out where you want it before you put all this down. And you put a little bit of glue on there. And then you just stick it right on there. And that way you don't see you have any glue dots, you don't have any tape or anything showing because it dries totally clear. So you can punch out dragonfly, glue it on. That completes that one. Okay, so let's move on to the one we're going to do. I can tell I'm going to go over 25 minutes already. So what I did ahead of time was, we'll just have this one out for our sample. So I wanted to use Misty Moonlight, and this is our standard, 8.5 by 5.5 folded in half. You're going to do 2 pieces. I'll flip it over. We'll pretend like it's blank. You're going to cut 2 pieces of 3 3/4 by 5 inch for the outside of the card. One is going to be your frame that you're going to make, and one is going to be the one you're going to stamp and color. And then if you want a piece inside, you'll do a 5 1/4 by 4. Our basic black is let's see, what is it? It's 5 1/4 by 4. So that's your next layer on there. And I already told you about the 2 white ones. And then your window sheet is 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. And I did just a scant less than that because if you do it exactly, you risk it hanging over, and you don't want that. So just cut it a scant less than what I just told you. Not a whole heck of a lot. Okay, so what you want to do first though is do your window frame, and you're going to use the rectangle stitched frames. Let me get that out. Listen to all the noise in the background because I have everything in a little container right here next to me. Okay, so you're going to use rectangle stitch framelit dies if you have them. If you don't, put them on your wish list. And then let me move some of this stuff out of the way. Okay, so let's pretend I haven't stamped on this yet. Let's say this is going to be that second sheet. You're going to go ahead and you're going to line these up, and you're going to run them through the Big Shot. We've done this before, but it's been a while. And you don't really, you want to kind of keep them inside, but where you really want to watch yourself is just to make sure you've got the same distance all the way around. And if you get close, that's all we can ask for. So you run that through the Big Shot, and voila, you get this pretty frame. Okay, so once you do the frame, why you want to do the frame first is because you want to know where to place your flowers. So before you stamp anything, go ahead and lay your frame down on here and take a pencil and just do a light pencil mark all the way around the inside. And you can probably see mine. I'll hold it up just in case you can't. So you do a pencil line all the way around. Okay, then again, before you stamp, this is a really long stamp that I just had in my hand. Here it is. And what I did was, okay, I know my frame is going to cover up all this, but if you stamped this whole thing on here, it's going to run off your paper and you're going to see it down here. And that's not the end of the world if that happens, but I personally didn't like it. So here's the inside of my frame. Then I took just a piece of scrap paper, right, like here. And I said, okay, there's the bottom of my frame, the inside of my frame, and I know it's going to come down about this far. And so I just put this piece of scrap paper down here. Oopsie, there goes my lid. I inked this up in the Memento black ink. and then I stamped it on there, watching my lines there. And then, and the reason why you don't want to, you think, well, why don't you just put it all the way up there, Diane? Well, I did that on one, and because there's just enough of a lift, I didn't get any ink down here. I got very light. So I thought, okay, let's just slide it down a bit, stamp it, you get it all on there, and the frame is going to cover this part up, and I'm not going to have anything down here. Hope that makes sense. Just little tips I want to throw out there for you ladies, because I don't want you to get frustrated. I don't want frustrated stampers. Okay, so now that we have done, and then you do your coloring, whatever coloring you want to do. And again, this is Misty Moonlight and Old Olive, and I used the light Misty Moonlight blender pen. And what else did I use? Let's see. Keep that off the side. So I used the light Misty Moonlight, and I used the dark Old Olive. No. Sorry, I lied. Sorry. I used the light Old Olive on that because I wanted you to be able to see the black on there. And then I used the Daffodil Delight just on the center of those flowers. But as you can see, there's not too many flowers to color. You're mostly coloring the green. Okay, I'm going to set those aside for right now. You've done all your coloring. Voila. Then you're going to go ahead and you're going to erase. It may or may not be seen, but I don't like to take chances. If I'm going to put this much work into something, I don't want anybody to see my cheat lines. Okay. Hold on. Do this a little bit more. Trying to go quickly. I could just slap this card together, but then I'm thinking, no, I don't want to waste all that coloring. I want to give this to somebody. So I'm color wasting. Okay, there we go. And then I don't know about you guys, but I always keep a couple paintbrushes handy to get rid of all that fluff. Just sometimes it's good just to have a couple paintbrushes handy. Okay, so we're ready to do this. Okay, so you do have a right side and a wrong side to the frame. There's the wrong side. And first of all, you're going to want to take our double stick tape, sticky strip, not double stick tape, sticky strip. And because we're going to put the clear window sheet down first. Oopsie. Actually, they call it tear and tape because you're supposed to be able to tear it. But I always like cutting it. I always feel like how many of you guys do the actual tearing versus cutting? I like to cut. I've actually bent my cardstock and stuff in the past. Get out my scissors that have sticky stuff all over them already. Okay, I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas. We took down our tree and everything yesterday. So the house looks like we just moved in. It looks very bare, but that's just because I haven't got any of my other candles, and I'm kind of transitioning for Valentine's Day. So I think in a couple of weeks I'll put my Valentine's Day stuff out. I'm going to dread going into work next week and having to put away all my Christmas stuff. I've been off since the day, let's see, Tuesday before Christmas was my last working day. And I gotta tell you, I've been having a good time. I bet you can guess what I've been working on. Yeah, some card stuff, but you know, up until Christmas it was really busy. And Sarah was here. Okay, I'm taking off the sticky strip here, and I'm going to add my window sheet. But Sarah was here, and she left Monday late afternoon, and it was time. It was time for her to go. Love the kid, but once they leave, you know, maybe they shouldn't always come back. Okay, well, they can come back to visit. Don't misunderstand that. Okay, so now you're going to want to put your window sheet on and maybe make sure you don't have any smudgies on it. And this is very sticky. So yeah, you're just going to want to line it up. And this is why I say, I'm going to turn it the long ways because I'll have less fuss that way. This is why I say cut it just a wee bit shorter than the dimensions I gave you. Oh, for Pete's sakes. It's like fly paper. I'm glad it's very sticky though. Okay, let's see how that works. Ah, success. Oops, what have I got on there? Oh, it's just a piece of plastic. Okay, So there's our window sheet on there. Now, what you want to do, before you stick anything down, let's go ahead and tape these other pieces down. And I put all my, okay, so here's my Stampin' Seal that I really, really love. Like I say, every now and then we have issues getting it started, but for the most part, it does pretty good. Oopsie, get on there. Okay, so let's put our basic black piece down. Oh, and I gotta put my words on the front too before I cover everything up. Make sure you do all the stamping off your front before you put this window sheet down, because there's no returning after that. I always want to draw this really close to me, and I gotta remember that, hey, you guys gotta see what's going on. So let's see right here. Okay, so there's that piece. And now for my words, I took Just a Note from, let's see, what stamp set did I take? Just a Note from Posted for You. And again, I'm gonna kind of put my window up here and give myself an idea of about where I'm gonna put it. Okay, so Just a Note. So yeah, before you do this, you know, pick your words out and kind of figure out if the words are going to fit, because there's not a whole, there are words that fit, but you just got to be careful is what I'm trying to say. Okay, sure. Yeah, if I keep it around that flower head, I'll be okay. And hopefully if my head doesn't get in here. Oh, I got, oh, there it goes. Right, okay. There we go. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to stamp it right about there and hope it's straight. Okay, Just a Note. It's so pretty. And yeah, that's going to fit over there great. Okay, so once you've done that, now you're going to stamp your dragonfly. And I want to show you before I stamp, well, I'm going to stamp my dragonfly and then I'll do a little show and tell. So now we're using the, not Memento, we're using the Black Stays On. Black Stays On. And you can kind of take a look at this and kind of figure about where you're going to want your dragonfly, because you're going to stamp it. Let me move that up a little bit. You're going to stamp it. I'm lining this up as if I was going to put it on the card. So now you're going to stamp the dragonfly right on top. Trust me. And you don't want to get it on your paper either. And I'll show you my boo-boos in a minute. Okay, so you've got all on there. Now just remember, it wants to be just a little slippery, so you just want to go down and come right back up. And I think I want to kind of go off as much as I can without hitting the paper. Yeah, and if you mess this up, you're right, you get to start all over again. Okay, perfect. Okay, and I'm going to cover up the Stays On because we're done with that part. So Black Stays On for stamping on the window sheet. So another little trick, and we're just going to let it dry for a minute, because what we're going to do is we're not going to stamp color on the top of this. We're going to flip it over and color on the back. I don't know why. That's just the way it was done in the instructions, but I think maybe it'll smudge off if you don't. I'm not positive, but I'm just going to trust them. Now, something I did, let me show you, well, that dries. Let me do a little show and tell for you. Yeah, we're going to go over 25 minutes. Okay, so here was the first sample I made. So you guys don't ever see the first or second or sometimes third samples. So this was the first one I did. It was great. It was fine. But if you notice, my frame is smaller. And it was okay for that one. But then when I went to go do this version of it, when I went to stamp my dragonfly, I can peel that off there, it went off the paper for one, and it covered up an awful lot of the flower. And I went, I wonder if I could take this up a size. And I did, and I liked the larger size better. So, saved you that pain right there. Then the other thing I did, plus I didn't like the way I couldn't really see the dragonfly with those colors. So what I did was I did a little practice one, and let me hold this up against this. So I did a little practice one. I stamped a couple dragonflies, and then I just played with colors to see what I liked better once I held it up. And then I'd hold it up against the flowers and go, yeah, that one shows up really well. Maybe that doesn't, but anyway, so you get the idea. So take a sheet if it's worth your time to go ahead and play with some colors to see what's gonna look good against your background. The thing is, you don't want to go too dark. I've discovered that. Okay, so now that's done, and so I'm now going to color my dragonfly. And let's see, one of these was the light misty moonlight and one was the dark. And I think I went with the dark, believe it or not. Okay, so we're going to give it a try. So I'm using the dark because I want the dragonfly to really show up there. So I use the dark on the body. I liked that. And again, I have flipped this over now. We're coloring on the back side of the window sheet. We're rounding home, ladies. We're rounding home. I hope I'm keeping this entertaining enough for you. Okay, so there's that. And you want to give it a minute to dry, of course. And then I'm trying to decide, do I want yellow or do I want green? I think I'm going to go with the yellow. Yellow's a little lighter. You know, and if you want to color your dragonfly wings, if you want to do the top ones in yellow and the bottom in green or whatever, yeah, go squeak, squeak, squeak. Makes a nice little squeaky noise. Squeegee, 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 squeegee. Not as annoying as nails on a chalkboard. Not that bad. Okay, so you just color that in. And I think the other cards are going to go pretty fast compared to this one because it's a technique. Oh, I shouldn't say that. You know what? It takes as long as it takes, right? You can always fast forward. I think once it downloads or whatever. I've tried to fast forward past some stuff. It's like, nope, you gotta let us catch up first. Okay, so now that you colored that, again, with the Stampin' Blends. And let's let it dry, 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 dry. So that's drying. In the meantime, what I can do is take our sticky, foamy, sticky things that I put in here, but it's falling against everything. Hang on. There's a sheet, there's that, there's that. Oh, there they are. Say everything was in the little container. Okay, now usually we use these because we're doing like shaker cards, but because we're not doing a shaker card, you can have some open space. So I mostly wanted to get it along the side, just like that. And again, keeping it in the window. There we go. Might snip that off. No, it's okay. Okay, and then do the other side, like so. And just keeping it inside the frame. And then you can do just a short one, just to give it that lift. I just really love how that looks like it's really just floating by. I just think that's such a cool technique. And if you've already done this technique, sometimes I forget. It's like, okay, have I already shown you guys this like 2 years ago? Then it doesn't hurt to have a refresher, does it? Because I forget. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot we could do that technique. Okay. Okay, so you've got that all on there. So now you may go ahead and put your base down, or put your colored piece on your base, I should say. And this is the stamp set that we had to buy. We had a, what do you call it, virtual convention, if you will, where you could watch it at home, the Stampin' Up! Convention from home, and everything was on video and all that. And I must admit, it was a little lackluster. It was kind of nice to fast forward past the boring parts. You know, I mean, I'm happy for achievers, but I don't need to see absolutely everybody parade around a stage and get their awards. It's just like Sleepersville. And they tried to do it a little bit better this year, and it did go, well, of course, not everybody was parading across the stage because there was no stage to parade. But they showed people's names and pictures and stuff like that. But again, it was nice to just skip that, past that part. Okay, so I put our foam strips on there, and then you're just going to go ahead and line that up. I'm going to pull it towards me a little bit because I can't tell if I'm centered or not. Looks like I got glue or something on there, but that's okay. And voila, there we go. So it's fun making the frame. It's really fun doing this technique. You could do it with, you know, butterflies, other flowers, all kind, balloons. If you're doing a birthday card, just have a lot of fun with this technique, okay? And again, remember, you can always do it this way. Oops, not that way. Where'd it go? You can always do it this way too. So 2 different versions, 2 different ways. Okay, so now as quickly as I can without muddling everything up, and just, if you want to see, these are the 2 stamp sets, Dragon Garden. That's one, and and there's also a dragonfly that you can, well, you can stamp and color your own and cut it out is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so dragonfly is done. Let me switch gears here without turning anything off and see. Let's see how well I transition from that card to, let's do Valentine's Day. Ooh, this one's heavy. Okay, here's my Valentine's Day stuff. Let me get this cleaned up just a little bit. Otherwise it's going to get too cluttery, and you know what happens when I get things too cluttery. Okay. All right. Let me set this stuff over here. Now, Valentine's Day. In the new occasions catalog, there was all kinds of cute Valentine's Day stuff. And did Diane think she needed any of it? No, she did not. So then all of a sudden she realized, yeah, I do need some of it. And I placed my order, and it's not here yet. So, all right, where's all the Valentine's Day stuff? Hold on, went too far. I think it's like really early on in the beginning. Okay, yes. So here's all the Valentine's Day stuff that I'm not going to show you this time. We're going to do it next time. However, in the main catalog, we have plenty of Valentine's Day stuff because we bought it last year. Remember? And let me get my page and notes out so I can get the page numbers out here for you. Okay, so I think we started on page 16. This is the one set we're going to use, and how many of you remember meant to be? And this came with the, well, it didn't come with it, but you could get the Stitch Be Mine dies. And so we're going to be using this stamp set because I wanted to kind of push Valentine's Day just a little bit. And then my order will be in by the time we do the next workshop. But I just didn't want you to think like, hey, I don't have any Valentine's Day, because you might have some of this from last year or maybe even the year before. Heartfelt is another one. And it comes, you can purchase the heart punch pack, and this is on page 75, and that's 2 heart. It's a regular heart and then a scalloped heart, and we're going to be using that today. And then the other one was on page 76 here, heart to heart, and it's Valentine's-y, and you can get the coordinated detail heart die, but and that's one with all these little hearts on it. But I don't think I used any part of this at all for the card we're going to make. Well, you're going to see it in a minute. But anyway, so majority of this stuff, unless I say otherwise, is out of the regular catalog. So let's get busy. So what does the card look like, Diane? Here's the card. Oops, I got two things at once. So here's the card, and this is going to be a fun fold card, and it is called, what the heck is it called? Lock and slide, because it slides, but it comes off, and then you can open the card, and it says, you know, Happy Valentine's Day. if I give Valentine's Day cards, the only one I'm gonna put, you know, is love you to the moon in the back is maybe my kids or my husband. Not to a lot of my friends. Sorry, I do love you guys, but you know, in a different way. So it says, I made you a card because you're worth it. I thought that was kind of appropriate for a Valentine's Day card. But anyway, so I'm going to show you how to make the mechanism that makes this a lock and slide card. Okay, so first of all, I got these little hearts that I punched out that I'm going to get them out of the way. All right, so we're going to use Rocco Rose and Real Red for our inks. We're going to use this heart, which is out of the, it's out of the Stitch Be Mine dies. You can use that. This is the punches I was talking to you about. You get both of these, and we're going to be using them both. And then we've got this little heart here. Now, this little heart is not in the catalog. It was from the one before, and maybe the one before that, I can't really remember. But since it's so close to Valentine's Day, you could probably maybe find one of these at your local craft store. There, I didn't say that. Okay. Anyway, hearts are everywhere. And you can do this. You don't have to have this. This is just where I did some embellishments on the card. It's not a deal breaker. And same with these little doodads. I put these on my card, and then I looked in the catalog, and I couldn't find them anywhere. From My Heart Faceted Gems. Again, they might have been in last year's catalog. I could have sworn they were in this year's, but I looked all over. I didn't see them, but I could be wrong. I just didn't see them. And let's see. And then this is the I Made You a Card Because You're Worth It that we put inside. And then that is from, here's a card. That's from that stamp set. This is the Meant to Be or Stitch Be Mine framelits. And then here's the 3 stamp sets I was telling you about. Meant to Be, Heartfelt, and Heart to Heart. So you might have bought some of these last year, so you might have them in your stash. But we're going to use Happy Valentine's Day from the Meant to Be, and I think that's the only stamp we end up using. Yeah, okay, that's good. So let me set these aside. Dimensions, how are we going to do that? What is on this card? Dimensions, dimensions, dimensions. Let me set these stamps out of the way. Okay. Still go over there. Okay, so what I did was, I'll get all the pieces out here. So this is, again, this is Rocco Rose at 5.5 by 8.5, and you score it at each end at, okay, I have to confess, I ate a piece of peanut brittle earlier, and little pieces are everywhere. It's almost all gone. I have to eat it and get it out of here so that I can like do some kind of weight control here pretty soon. It's just out of control is what it is. Okay, so score at what I say, 2 1/8 on each end, and fold it. So this is your basic gatefold card, and then you want 2 pieces of designer series paper at 5 3/8 by 2 inches. And this, again, because I didn't think I need any Valentine's Day stuff, I didn't order any Valentine's-y designer series paper. It'll be here any day. So this was one of the Christmas papers, and I'll have to look and see which one it was. It's like, I can't remember, but it was one of the Christmas 6x6 papers, and it just matched this perfectly. So I went, what the heck? Who knows that it's Christmas? It looks very Valentine's-y to me. So again, you cut those at 5 3/8 by 2 inches. Then you want 4 pieces. Hold on, move this aside. You want 4 pieces of Real Red, or you can use white. It doesn't matter. I just wanted Real Red to kind of keep it in the same color family because you really don't see it until you're slipping the piece off. So the 4 pieces are 2.5 by 2.5. So you cut 4 of those, but 2 of them you are going to score in half. And again, these are all going to be for our little mechanism we're going to make. So 4 pieces at 2.5 by 2.5. Take 2 of them and score them at 1 1/4 inches. Okay, and those are going to make these little book-looking things. Then you're going to need a piece of real red, 3.5 by 3. And then for the inside of your card, you're going to want the standard, what do we do, 5.25 by 4. There's that. Then I used, for these pieces here, I just used a scrap of my foil. You can use silver, you can use gold, you can use white cardstock if you wanted to. And you're going to run that through the Big Shot using this heart out of the, which did I say, the Stitch Be Mine dies. That's the only one you're going to run through, okay? So you've got that, and I'll put that away. And then you just want a scrap of the Rocco Rose and a scrap of white, and you're just going to use this scallop punch for the Rocco Rose. You're going to use this punch for your Whisper White, and then in red I stamped the Happy Valentine's Day from, which stamp set did I say I did that from? From the one on the bottom, from the Meant to Be stamp set. That's that Happy Valentine's Day right there. Or you could put Happy Anniversary if that's something you wanted to do. The inside, I did, I used the Rocco Rose. I made you a card because you're worth it. And because I showed you that I punched out hearts and I just used a little bit of our glue. Yes, glue. I actually glued them. I glued those hearts on there to make the inside of the card. Okay, so let me talk to you about the assembly of this whole thing. So let's go ahead and do our outside. So let me take our snail, and because I feel like I've been doing this for a half an hour now. I bet we're going close to 25 minutes right now. Okay, and you're just going to go ahead and put that down, and I just realized I probably moved it way too close to me. Let's get these pieces out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, and again, using our snail. This is a little cheaper than using the Stampin' Seal. So I like to use it whenever I'm using the Designer Series paper. Where's my line at? Let me fold this out because I can't see it very well. Okay, and there we go. Okay, and then you can go ahead and do your inside if you want and stick that in there. Oh, here's going to use this on this, sorry. Yeah, I know that was kind of stupid, wasn't it? It's hard to believe it's going to be like Valentine's Day, and I'm always looking ahead to the next holiday. I just can't stand it. I can't help it. Okay, so there you go. And you're just going to center those in. And if you punched out hearts, or if you want to stamp hearts for the bottom, you can do what you want. Okay, now to make this little mechanism, I'm going to set this off to the side. Yeah, we can go ahead and decorate this. Let's go ahead and put the decorations on here. So I would ordinarily run something like this through the, what do you want to call them, the sticky sheets. I like to do that when I'm doing small pieces, but for the sake of time, glue dots are too big. So if you don't run it through sticky strip, it's not a sticky strip, what's it called? Adhesive sheets, I think that's what they're called. Okay, and I can tell I got a little too much glue on there. This is why Diane doesn't always use glue. But for the sake of time, we're just going to keep moving. Okay, then I just put it on there at an angle. There we go. And then I pop some dimensionals onto this heart. Oh, don't stick to me. You know, you can always tell when you've had a busy day of card making because you've got ink all over your hands and your fingers stick together. At some point, you've got to wash your hands. Okay, and then I did this just like that. And then I put on the little doohickeys that I showed you earlier that I cannot see right at the moment. Where did I put those things? Okay, well, they might not sell them in the catalog anyway because I couldn't find them. But anyway, you can put any kind of rhinestones or gems on there. And then if you pick up a heart punch from somewhere who knows where you'll pick it up from. You can punch out little hearts to match the paper. So you design that any way you want. And for the sake of time, I'm not going to do it. So you've got that piece. Now we're going to do the mechanism. Okay, so what you want to do is, and I used our Stampin' Seal, and you want to get it all on there. And I think what I did was this. I think I just took it, and you're going to be covering up this whole thing with those two pieces. Just get it on there. The thing about this is you want to make sure that those two folded pieces are butted up right against each other. Okay, and you want to put enough glue on here that it's gonna stay, because that's gonna get some abuse if it's, you know, slid up and down and up and down. So put yourself a generous amount of sticky strip on there. Okay, you do not want these to hang over in any way, shape, or form. You want them to line up, because what happened on the first one I did, I didn't think it would matter that they hung over a little bit, and then it made these pieces bow because it was kind of pulling it together. I hope that makes sense. So there's my folded piece like that, and I'm going to be very, very careful to make sure that I just get them to not hang over. And I can tell that's hanging over just a tad bit on the top, but maybe that'll be okay. I'm more concerned with the sides. Okay, and then you want to put this other one up against it as tightly as you can. No gappage. Okay, then when you get that on there, you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to make this. So now you've got this piece. So there's your base down there, and you've got this piece that looks like a little book. Okay, you're going to flatten that down, and you're going to make a sandwich. That's going to go right on top of there. See, and your card piece is going to float right in there. So let me see if I can get my tape going. Go, tape, go. Have any of you guys, not that I expect you to answer me, but are you using the new Stampin' Seal? Are you loving it? What are you thinking? I love it. The only frustrating part is the getting it going, and I've watched it on lots of people's videos making cards. They do the same thing where they take their finger and get it going. That's the only complaint I have. I just love it. It holds really well. Okay. So now, as you can see, I've got all these pieces glued or taped. And now I'm going to sandwich this as best I can and just make sure that it's as even as possible. Because once this is down, it's down. There's no returning. And you could see on my, because that was actually the second one I made. The first one, again, I did something where something was too tight, and it made my whole card bow, and I did not like that at all. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this piece right on top of it. So let's get that all sandwiched on there. Now I suppose I could put this on the card and then put my decorative top on top of it. I don't know that it makes any difference at all. If you guys try these cards, send me a picture, let me know. Okay, so again, fun fold technique. Now make sure that when you put it on that your little book is happening there. You don't want to put it on that way. Otherwise your thing is going to be going like that. Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to take it and hold it down this way, and then that way I can kind of get it centered on there. Okay. And again, you can use this technique on any card. Just imagine other things, like if you did one with the little cat or dog, and the little cat or dog slides up and down. They've got that cute little that alligator stamp set in the new mini catalog. So now you just kind of want to try to just play with it just a little bit, just to get it open, because now is where the magic happens. And I found it easier to first get it started is just to open up that sandwich and then just kind of put your card in there. But anyway, and then once you've done that, you might have to slide it a little bit up and down to get it. But see how that, isn't that cute? So when somebody opens the card, they just slide that puppy off of there, and then they can slide it right back on. So anyway, that is our Valentine's Day card, not technique, but our fun fold for this party that Lisa is hosting. And here's the hostess code. All right, let me transition real quick. Okay, what do you think? We're going to go on like, what, 45 minutes maybe? Okay. I don't take that long in a real workshop, though, do I? Okay. And, whoa, that's a heavy bucket there. Okay. Now, you know I had to demo a celebration set, right? Got to do that. So, in this one, okay, celebration. And if I forgot anything, hopefully I didn't forget to tell you guys anything on that last one. Okay, let me clear off some space here. Again, can't have it too cluttery. Let me get these out of the way. And let me put this to my right. And I gotta take a drink. Talking too much. Oh, okay, here's those little things. They were right in front of me and I couldn't see them earlier. Okay, so for celebration, I am going to show you now. Okay, this is something that, okay, you know how real I can keep it, right? This just sucks because, I mean, I love it, but I hate it at the same time. I love, love, love this paper. The Berry Blessing stamp set and Berry Delightful Designer Series paper. You get those items for free if you spend $100, and we know that's not difficult to do. However, now that I've got the stamp set, I want like about 10 packs of this paper. I don't want 10 of these sets. So after I place the next order, when I'm on Stampin' Up! Website, I'm going to say, can you please, please, please just release this all by itself because it is so cute. And let me see, I have it right down here. Excuse the noise. This is such cute paper. I just got to show you this. It's got these berries and the leaves, and they've kept our plaid going with, and those blueberries. Oh, so cute, so cute. And let's see what else. And then they've got the red plaid, red checked. More cute berries. I just love this paper. Oh, and the blueberries. Oh my gosh. Look at those blueberries. Aren't those pretty? And then look at the other side. Wow. Isn't that wild? I just love that. I can see so many uses for that. And I see this and I just think of springtime and how I can't wait to have strawberries again. And it's just crazy. Anyway, and then they've got these beautiful, they kind of look like Marion berries in a way. And then there's more strawberries. And then there's some, oh, and like little seeds, little berry seeds. Anyway, this paper is so cute. And I want a bunch of it, but I don't need a bunch of the stamp sets. So anyway, just had to show that to you. Because our card, and again, right off of Pinterest, but I had to figure a few things out on my own, is this card. Isn't it just adorable? I love those strawberries, the paper. Oh, I already went on about the paper. And then on the inside, so I said, thank you. You always have a way of making my day. And I just thought, oh my gosh, how much fun will it be to send that to somebody. So let's get busy on this card before this party goes for an hour. So what are we going to do first? We're going to get this junk out of Diane's way so she can read. Okay, so we are using in the, sorry, I meant to say in the occasions catalog. So Berry Blessings, this is one you get with the paper, okay? And as you can see, it has the blueberries and some other things. But if you want the strawberries in the occasions catalog, there is the sweet, they don't call it occasions, what are we calling it now? The mini catalog. And did I write down what page that was on? No, I didn't. I didn't write what page it's on, but it also goes with the strawberry punch builder that we're going to be using. So, sweet strawberry set with the strawberry punch builder. So this is, I don't think we're using anything out of this one. We're just using the paper, so I just wanted to show you that. So anyway, sweet, sweet strawberry. All right, so where's my, okay, oh, I was gonna say, where's my things? Okay, so let's talk about pieces. So, Granny Apple Green, and it's our standard 5.5 by 8.5, folded this way. Well, you can fold it that way and then turn it this way. I'm so clever. Okay, and then you want, inside is Whisper White, 5 1/4 by 4. You want another piece of Whisper White that's going to be 3.5 by 2.5, and we're going to use die cuts on that. Then from that beautiful Designer Series paper, you want 4 1/4 by 4.5 that you're going to die cut. And again, the cute berry paper. And this one is, what size is this one? 5 1/4 by 4? Is that 5 1/4? Yeah, let's just lay it down here. 4 by 5 1/4. That's it. Okay, so just those pieces there. And then you're going to want a scrap of white to stamp 3 berries. And let me see if I kept any in my... oh yeah, there's one I didn't do. Okay. And I'm going to show you how I did that in just a momento here. So there's the 3 berries. Oh, that's for show and tell later. Okay. So let's go ahead and put the pieces together that we can. So I used the Stitched So Sweetly dies for these 2 pieces here. Let me get those out right now. Let's see. Let's get all the pieces out here. Here's the punch. This is the Berry Builder Punch. And there's our stamps that we're going to use. Oh, and my dimensionals. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to try to rush through this. I know it's gone longer than what I said, but you know what? That's okay. Okay, so with the pieces that I told you, this is the... did I write down which sizes these were? Okay, so in the Stitch So Sweetly, let me just pull that out. In the Stitch So Sweetly, you get all of these. Okay, so this one here is the 1, 2, 3. It's the 4th one. Skip the 5th one and go to the 6th one. And if you want to know what they are, the big one is 4 1/4 by 3, and this one is 3 1/4 by 2. So if you want to jot that down, you can do that. Okay, so basically, yeah, I just ran it through the Big Shot, and I ran them both at the same time. I ran this one through and this one through, ran it through the Big Shot. I got my 2 pieces. Uh-oh, just hit the floor. Hold on. I'm just going to move it out that way. Okay. So, you've got your green, and you're going to go ahead and put your tape on there. I have a cat meowing at my door. She's not getting in. Okay. And just make sure that when you cut this, when the first one I cut it the wrong way. It was going to go like this, and it was like, oh, darn it. So, but I'll use it for something else probably. So, you're going to go ahead and you're going to put that down. Get it about even. Okay, love Granny Apple Green. Okay, and then you're going to go ahead and put this piece down. This is such a quick and easy card, but so cute. So cute. Okay, and you're just going to want to center. Gosh, I keep forgetting I have to do this in the middle of the table. I'm sorry, you guys. You'd think I've done enough of these by now that I'd have it down. Okay, then using the Garden Green, and my Garden Green, do you guys have any of these new pads that this one just is like hard to open, doesn't cooperate. Okay, so again, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm going to keep it towards the bottom. There we go, just like that. Or you can do happy birthday, and it comes with some sayings that you can put on there. One says thank you, that one. Happy birthday, you sweet thing. That was so sweet of you, just for you, hello there. And then on the other one, it's wishing you the very best, which I think is kind of cute too. Okay, so once you've done that, I'm going to keep the green out, so I'm going to get back to that. So once you've done that, you can go ahead and, because I'm doing cardstock, I'm switching up my tape a little bit. Okay, and just putting that on there like so. And centering it up a little bit. That's why I like this. I always like the check and the plaid papers because you've got little lines that you can kind of follow. Okay, so there's that right there. Now, about the strawberries. What about the strawberries? At first, when I saw the gal that she had stamped the, let me see, where is my sample? Okay, here we go. Okay, this is just my sample, okay? This is where I was playing with hearts and I was playing with strawberries and all that kind of stuff. So, this is how the gal on Pinterest had stamped that and put the little topper thing on there. Well, our punch doesn't punch the whole thing out, and it took me a few minutes, but I realized she cut them out by hand. And I thought, you know, I don't love that enough to do that. So I went ahead and figured out, oh, okay, so I'm going to do my strawberries, and then on white, I stamped this out. And then I decided, well, I don't know, it just, I didn't, it's okay. But then I thought, well, what if I stamp garden green on green cardstock? And that's when I came up with that one. And that is what is on this card. So I went ahead on these two, and I just used a couple glue dots. Let me get my glue dots. Oh, and I gotta tell you how I stamped the strawberries too. And you just have to pay attention to like the direction that this is facing and the direction. At first I thought, where's the strawberry? I got a pear, but it's a strawberry. I was just looking at it the wrong direction. So anyway, but when you're punching, let's see, did I keep that one piece? Let's see. I stamped a whole bunch. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, there we go. I'll show you my boo-boos too. So anyway, I mean, this isn't on garden green, but I stamped them all going that direction because I wanted to just make sure that I could punch them all out. Okay, I'm lying. There you go. So I wanted to make sure I could punch them all out. So I just did it, you know, going in the right direction. So pay attention to the direction that you're stamping in is what I'm trying to say in a bad way. So go ahead and just put a couple of glue dots onto your strawberry. Another thing I realized that she did too is she didn't stamp, because it's a two-step stamp, and I think she just did a one-step, and then she drew her own berries because or seeds, because she had a lot more seeds, and I thought she must have taken a marker and done little tick marks. So if you want more seeds on your berry, you can do that. But anyway, so for the berries, and I got to show you. So at first I thought it was cherry cobbler, because that's the color that was used in there. So this one was done with cherry cobbler, and I thought it looked like an overripe strawberry. You know, when you get strawberries and you get the slightly orange ones and the red ones, and there's always one in the container. Well, I buy my strawberries from a farmer's market, from a fruit stand. I figured God made fruit stands. It wasn't meant for me to be picking the berries. So I prefer to buy them. I mean, besides, think of it this way. When you get home, you got to do all the work when you get home. You got to wash them. You got to hull them. You got to cut them in half, get them ready for strawberry shortcake. If you're going to make jam, there's enough stuff to do that you don't have to feel guilty about not picking the berries, okay? So, just saying. And I know they're cheaper if you pick them yourself, but forget it. Anyway, so this was the cherry cobbler, and it just reminded me of the berry that's always in the basket that's extra soft and mushy, and you know, you put your thumb right through it and you want to puke because it's so gross feeling. It's like, oh, throw that one away. Oh, don't eat that one. Okay, so that was that. Then I got smart and I said, okay, how about Poppy Parade? Because that's one of the colors that they say in the 12 by 12 that they use as Poppy Parade and Cherry Cobbler. So I did a combination. This is a hybrid berry, I guess is what we call it. And it's very, very easy to make. So you get these two, so you've got two stamps here. Mine are nice and colored now. And I did the base with the Poppy Parade. Okay, hang on just a second here. And so I just stamped the Poppy Parade. And you do have to watch your lineup just a little bit. So Poppy Parade right there. And I like how it gives that light dark image to it. Okay, bye-bye Poppy. And hello Cherry Cobbler. And so take that one and stamp. And now you want to be careful because you might end up with berries like these. Not that you would care, but you know me and my finickiness. You can see where I didn't quite get it on the outside. So that's what it might take you a couple practices. And what's funny is I did the first 3 perfect, and then the 3 that I was going to do for this card, the sample card, this was my other 3. So I did 3 really good and I did 3 really bad. So who knows what's going to happen here. But anyway, all you have to do is line it up. So I think where it's lined up, and then I bring it down just a bit. Let's see how we do. Ah, perfect. See, and there you go. There's your strawberry. So cute. And then you try to close your ink pads up. Okay, and I'll leave that out for a minute. Okay, so then once you've done your strawberry, you're just going to pop it in here. And mine's not going to cut out quite because I've got that piece of paper in the way. It's a little too tall. But you do have to notice that whatever's above it, so I would say, I would recommend, so you don't waste a whole bunch of paper, you know, cutting all these other things out. Go ahead and make yourself a strip and then just do your berries in a strip, keeping enough distance from this puppy here. Okay, there you go. So I have cut out the berries, and I showed you the green one there. Let's see, what am I doing here? Get this all out of here. Okay, so then once you've got all your berries, I kind of placed them the way I wanted to, knowing that I was going to high center one of them with some glue dots. So maybe about like that, so get this puppy out of the way. And then just go ahead and use some snail or glue, whatever you want. Come on. And, okay, come on. I mean, they need to perfect this just a little bit. I have done everything, and they say, oh, don't hold it at too much of an angle. Hold it straight, hold it upside down. I was like, I've done all of that stuff. And I notice other people still have problems. Okay, so where do I want this? I'm looking at my sample here. So kind of down here a little bit. I want to fill up some of that white space, if you will. And then do the other one. This stuff really is good, you guys. It really is. I got to go back to getting out my little piece of paper and just using it as my start. Because once you have it on there, you can rub it against the previous glue you've put down, and it'll start right up for you. Okay, and then I just pop some dimensionals onto this one. Okay, there's that. Those off, and voila, you put your dimensionals on there. And I want to raise it up a little bit higher than the other ones. There we go. And then for the inside, I went ahead and I just stamped that strawberry just by putting the garden green stamp directly on top of that, and then put the words inside. So, okay, so those are the cards. Let's see. Stampin' Up! Or Celebration starts January 5th, and I hope that wasn't too confusing. So you can watch this video. You cannot put any celebration or mini catalog orders in until January 5th. So if you can put your order in on the 5th using this code, or you can do it all on the 6th. I said 6 o'clock, but I just want to give Lisa enough time to, you know, pick her hostess things. So we might run into, let me see, the 5th is Tuesday. So if you order Tuesday of this week, Wednesday of this week, chances are the order probably won't go in till the 7th. I just want to give us a little breathing room. So get it in on the 5th or 6th if you're doing it online, or email me your order. It will go to Lisa. If you order through, if you have me ordered, if you do it yourself online, you know it comes directly to you. But anything that I place on your behalf, which I have no problem doing whatsoever, then that will go to Lisa, and she will, when the order comes, she'll get it to you. So again, look through the, if you didn't get a celebration catalog, you can look at it online. I've just ordered some extras, so if you didn't get one, let me know and I will get one delivered to you. And I think that is about it. And then yes, and then I will do door prizes as well. Once my order comes in, I'll know what the door prizes are going to be. And yeah, the Christmas nails are going tomorrow. So anyway, it was great doing this video. First one for celebration. I will send an email saying that this video is done, and I will also let you gals know who else is hosting a workshop and what day, or I should say a party. They're not workshops, they're parties. Who's going to do what party on what day. We've got another 3 or 4 more coming up, so between now and the end of February. Okay, I'm gonna quit rambling. It's been great doing this, you guys, and we will talk soon. Bye bye. Happy New Year. Now let's see how much time that took.